Titus 2, verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach, verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. Verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, be not blasphemed. Most of you women don't want to be wives. You say that the man is supposed to go out and work, but yet a man can come home, but there's no food on the table, but you're not working. Your job should be to take care of the house. Okay? Okay? Now, there's exceptions where Jake is earning enough money to keep, food on the table and the bills paid and have, buy a few trinkets. Fair enough. You guide the house. You take care of the children. Try and keep it traditional as possible. Okay? Well, obviously there's situations where you both got to work, but you got to find a happy medium. Okay? We can both come to a mutual agreement, but at the end of the day, the man is the head of the household. Most of you women want your career and that, but ride the carousel, be with numerous men. No man wants a used old woman. What are you going to do with an old woman? You can get some relief for a little bit. Women in their 40s or 50s that look good. But let's just say, you're a man in your 30s or 40s and you want children. What are you going to do then? With a dry old woman that's been with so many men, but she expects you to treat her, like she's brand new. Okay? You see a car in a showroom. I'm going to give you an analogy, right? You see a car in a showroom. It's beautiful. Looks good. Smells good on the inside. No scratches, no dents, no marks. Everything is tight and in its place. Nothing's been stretched out or used. There are no fingerprints all over it. It's brand new. Somebody steals the car. You made a down payment for that car, right? But then I'm gonna use a drastic example. That car gets stolen out of the showroom. Okay? And it's found after about 2-3 days. It's got another 100 miles on the mileage. There's a bit of wear and tear. It's found. It's still in fairly decent condition, but there's a lot of wear and tear. There's a bad smell and odor on the inside. It's not fresh. It's not unique. But the owner found it, got it back, and offers it to you again, but at a depreciated price, which is a price reduction. Do you still want it back? Do you still want that car? Would you want to invest your hard-earned money in somebody that's used a vehicle for joyriding? And most men are using these women for joyriding. Okay? And no man wants a used woman. Okay? And you women are not the same as men in any shape or form. First Corinthians 11:8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was a man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Okay? You are created for us. Woman means servant. Doesn't mean that you're going to be kicked into the corner and beaten. A woman's position is beautiful. You just have to be feminine, look good, smell good, be loyal to your husband, take care of the children. Right? In the ancient world, you're a princess. You live like a princess. And you will again. But you've got to start somewhere. And guide the house and take care of the children. And let your husband or your man lead and Teach your sons to be men and to be manly. Okay, you women can't have it all. And a lot of you women are going to cry. A lot of you career women that said no to guys. And then what happens is you say no to your own, okay? And then years later, 20 years later, men that you said no to in your younger years, right, you would never ever go with, you say yes to because no man wants you. You're old. That's why a lot of these female attractive actresses or porn stars or any woman that's been around the block and been on the carousel with numerous men end up marrying or being with a man that's usually 20, 30 years older, doesn't look good, and obviously that man they would never go for, even if he was younger, especially when the female was younger. But because no man wants them now, men of the men that they're attracted to, no man wants them, so they have to settle. And what do they settle for? They settle for that quiet guy in the corner that doesn't look like much and usually of another nation. That's why most Jake women that are hags or used up, or any woman for that nature, usually ends up with, some cuck. You know what I mean? And you can see it. You see it sometimes. You see it all the time. Just analyze the lives of these women that have been around. Some of the women that, for example, some of these rappers date, they don't take them seriously. Some of these old, beautiful women when they were young, and they did what they did, Because I tell you one thing, that carriage, that beautiful carriage does turn back to a pumpkin, You women are going to lose it in the end.
Mothers to raise us. They raised us. We had mothers to raise us. They raised us to be women, raise our own children. See, y'all go pick them. All y'all want somebody you can put your hand on and whine and all cutting and all that foolishness. A woman has to be a woman. A woman places in her home. A man places to provide. And if he don't provide, then you don't need it. So, Mama Agnes, what kind of women like us dudes just choose? How do you feel about us just choosing all these? I don't feel anything because I got my man. I've been having him for 54 years. And I always had to be a woman. I've been a woman. I've been working since I was 7. I've been raising children since I was 5. I've been cooking since I was 4 and a half. And these women today, all they know is McDonald's, fast foods and stuff. They don't know nothing about cooking and feeding no man. Or wait till a man hard to do his stomach. Get you behind in there and cook. And feed him. And what about the Lord? And make sure he get up off his butt and go to work. Is that something that's missing in this community? No, the women sorry. Now, they may not like me for saying it, but these young women today, they don't even raise their children. Their children raising them. Look, a woman place is to raise her children, and at the end of the day, tell their husbands which one they had to almost kill. That's how that goes. That's why the juvenile center is so full, and they're expanding the jails because mothers don't raise their children and putting the blame on the man. And the man ain't worth a quarter because he won't work.
There you go. An older woman there, said it straight. Kind of reminds you of my grandmother. She said it straight. The woman was direct, yet feminine at the same time. And she said it, she's had her man for 54 years. A woman's job is to nourish her husband, to cook him the right food. Even Shahrazad Ali, even though she's into that Islam doctrine, which is complete, is nonsense, but she understands a fact that she's a woman with a fair amount of common sense, where she understands that her men usually have multiple women, and also the fact that women need to nourish their husbands so their brain and body functions correctly so they can go out in the world and conquer. Because brothers, especially brothers with the original look, the Judite man especially, has been beaten down because they're the head tribe, okay? And they're the ones that have the Yahushai's likeness, I mean, the rest of the tribes are important too, But you know, Jake with the original gets beaten down the most. But all Jake is getting beaten down, you know, especially if you're melanated, you know. But the curses follow, even if you haven't, even if you got the complexion for the protection, as Paul Mooney would say. You know, if you're an Israelite foreigner, but starting with the so-called black man first, you know, your job, you women, is to nourish your husband, nourish the children, guide them. Okay, you got to go to the root of the problem, and you women never go to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is Esau. Okay. Just wanted to touch on that. I found this vid. It's on Twitter. I thought I'd just sort of share it with you guys. But anyway, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makak.